Welcome everyone to the talk this evening. Hey. All right. For newcomers who haven't heard me speak before, I'd just like to say that the way I like to share the teachings is in an interactive fashion. So I will be asking you lots of questions, and I'd like you to participate in the answers, maybe not verbally, but at least in your head, instead of waiting for me to give you the answers. It's good if you dredge up your own wisdom in the process of what you'll be learning here. Yeah? Okay, the title of the talk, To Have More, Share More. I'll start with a little story and then we'll continue. Brendan Brendan was out in the shopping mall doing some shopping when he ran into a friend of his. And the friend saw that Brendan was carrying a beautifully well gift-wrapped package in his hand. So the friend asked him, "Hey Brendan, what are you doing here?" And Brendan said, "Well, you won't believe it, but I forgot my wife's birthday for the umpteenth time. And there was a huge ruckus in the house. So I told her that, listen, darling, let's chill down here a little bit. I'll get you anything you want for your birthday. What would you like?" And the friend asked, "And what did she say?" And Brendan said, "Well, she said, buy me anything you want, but it has to have some diamonds in it." And so here it is. So the friend says, "So what did you get her?" And he says, "A deck of cards." Now obviously Brendan didn't see his wife for a week after he gave her the present. But on the 8th day he could just about see her from the corner of his left eye. Swollen, that too. To have more, share more. This story illustrates that when our delusions outrun our wisdom, we create more problems than we solve. Yeah? When our delusions outrun our wisdom, we create more problems than we solve. We are where we are in life. We are where we are by the quality of the thoughts and actions we have woven into our character. What does that mean? It means that in the arrangement of our lives, nothing really happens by chance. Nothing. We are where we are by the nature of the thoughts and attributes and actions we have woven into our character. And most of us have not really woven the right qualities into our character. And because we have not woven the right qualities into our character, we keep experiencing repeated fiascos. Yeah, difficulties over and over again. The good news, however, is that no matter how weird we may be, and no matter how difficult our circumstances, we do have the power within us to change everything around for the better by changing the motivations behind whatever we do. Understanding? Regardless of all the things we have woven into our character, we do have, in the moment, we do have the power, we do have the resources to turn things around for the better by changing the motivations behind whatever we do. I'll explain what this means. But first of all, we need to understand that in the arrangement of our lives, nothing happens by chance. In the arrangement of our lives, it is the choices we are making from moment to moment that creates what we are and what we experience. In nature, when we look at nature, where in nature do you see chance or luck or accident? Where? Is it by accident that a rose plant gives rise to roses instead of apples? Oops, should I give maybe oranges? Is it by chance that a rose plant produces roses and not any other flower or any other fruit? No fruits on rose plants, correct? Not by chance, not by accident, because in life, in nature, everything follows exact laws and principles, everything, and we are part of nature. So the kind of person we have chosen to be, the qualities which define us, the kind of person we have chosen to be, the qualities that define us very strongly influence what happens to us and how we respond to it. So when I choose to be wise, when I choose to be loving, when I choose to accept the fact that in the process of living, people will push my buttons when I don't want them to. When I accept the fact that people will pull the rug out from under my feet, they will disturb my peace. They will do things that will cause me to get my hackles up. When I accept this fact of life, that life is filled with challenges, and I choose to be wise, then what happens? What happens? Then I prepare for it, don't I? When I choose to accept life the way it is, I prepare for its curveballs. And because I'm well prepared, when people do push my buttons, they find that I'm not going to respond to them the way they expected me to. I have control over my responses because I'm prepared. But when I choose to be unwise, when I choose to resist life and its principles, when something happens to me and I deny what's happening, or I resist what is happening and I fight against it, what is the outcome I will create for myself? A pleasant one or an unpleasant one? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yeah? The kind of person I have chosen to be, the qualities which define my character, strongly influences what happens to me and how I respond to it. And in my responses, I am basically determining my destiny. So when I choose to be wise and loving, when I choose to be accepting of life, then no matter what happens, I stay centered. I walk with presence in this world. But when I choose to be unwise, when I choose to fight against life, when I choose to avoid difficulties, run from them, I invite further difficulties because I remain unprepared for them. Yeah? To have more, share more. To have more suffering, share more suffering. And to have more love and laughter, share what is finest in you. When I change my character and its corresponding qualities, when I change my character and its corresponding qualities, my world changes. My world changes because my responses to the world are wholesome. And because my responses are wholesome, the world reflects back to me wholesome frequencies, and I walk in grace. But when I refuse to shift my character, when I refuse to be wise, then basically I am planting the seeds of my own misfortune. It's not coming to me from outside. It is coming because I've invited it by the seeds I am planting in the moment. Make sense? Okay. We experience either joy or sorrow, not just for what we do, but also for what we become from our actions. Do you know what that means? We do not just experience joy or sorrow because of what we do, but also for what we become from our actions. This means that we are not just punished for our sins or rewarded for our virtues, but we are also punished by our sins and rewarded by our virtues. That's what it means. Can you explain what that means? We're not just punished for our actions, but also by our actions. There's a direct relationship between what we do and what we become, yes, and therefore what we experience. Let me give you an example. When I am motivated by greed, when I'm motivated by anxiety, when I'm motivated by unwholesome frequencies, to act in this world with these unwholesome frequencies, what happens to my inner resonance? What happens to my character? I become fearful, become anxious, even more anxious, of not getting what I want. And so, not only are my external actions manipulative, but inside I'm eaten alive like a cancer cell. I'm eaten alive by those discordant frequencies that breed in those climates, being resentful, being critical, being judgmental. It harms me from the outside because people pull away from me, and it harms me from the inside because those discordant frequencies constantly rub against me. So we're not just punished for our actions, but also by our actions. And in the same way, when I choose to function from gentleness, from tenderness, from openness, from love, when I choose to function from wholesome qualities, then I'm rewarded not just from my outer actions, but also from the kind of person I become in the process. To have more, share more. You want more health? Share health with others. There is a saying that life punishes the greedy by bringing misfortune upon them. And it punishes the very greedy by making them rich. What does that mean? Have you heard of King Midas, the Greek mythology? You've heard of the Midas touch? It comes from there, the Greek mythology. What is it about this king? What is the story illustrating? King Midas, do you remember? Everything, yes. King Midas was a gentle, loving king, very kind and compassionate. But he was not one to reflect very deeply on what he desired. So he was a nice fellow, but his desires were a little wonky. And the reason his desires were a little wonky was because he had this passion for gold. He would almost bathe in it, cover himself with gold. He would dream about it. He could not think of anything else but gold, because for him it was just a step away from nirvana. Gold. The more he had, the greater his joy. So one day, King Dionysus, one of the Greek gods, granted him his deepest wish. And King Midas said, my deepest wish? Well, what I would like is to be able to touch anything and turn it into gold. That's my deepest wish. And the god cautioned him. He said, listen, my brother, not wise. Try something else. But Midas was not willing to change direction. No, I want to be able to touch anything and turn it into gold. So the god said, okay, if that's your wish, let's do it. Zap! And he acquired these powers. He was thrilled in the beginning because anything he touched turned into gold. And so, to celebrate his great good fortune, he asks his servant to prepare a feast. But as soon as he took a morsel of food, it turned to gold. The wine glass turned to gold. He couldn't eat anymore. And he had this daughter which he loved dearly. And when she came and said, "Daddy, what's going on here?" and he embraced her, "Hey, come, darling, look at what's going on." She turned to gold. Whoa! Everything was turning into gold. Life punishes the very greedy by making them rich. Are you understanding? Now, he realized that he had been desiring something extremely unwisely, and so he begged the god to take back this blessing. And the god took it back. He went back to his old self. Poorer than before, and yet rich in things which mattered a lot more than gold. Understanding? Okay. We are rewarded or punished not just for what we do, but also for what we become in the process. Understand this. When our motivations are wholesome, when our motivations come from clarity, then we are able to turn good into great and the ordinary into the extraordinary. When our motivations are wholesome, life is a blessing for us. But when our motivations are not wholesome, then we invite suffering to us in the truckloads. But we do have a choice to choose wisely. Many of us believe that our thoughts can be kept secret. Do you believe that? That your thoughts are in your head? The truth is, our thoughts cannot be kept secret. Why can they not be kept secret?
We become them.
Because we become them. Beautiful. And that means?
They're obvious.
In what way are they obvious? You're very correct. Spell it out some more.
Through the frequencies that we send out.
The frequencies we send out, people pick it up. Is that what you're saying? Right? Something else? I know you guys are not so quiet at home. Come along. I know, I can see in your head. I can read your thoughts. We imagine that our thoughts can be kept secret, but they cannot be kept secret because they rapidly crystallize into habitual character traits. We become those thoughts. Yeah. Our body language, our features, yeah? The way we dress, the people we meet, how we arrange our lives, it is displayed in the thoughts which we are habitually thinking. They cannot be kept secret. These thoughts manifest in our physical form, in our emotional form, in our psychological form, in our social relationships, in our finances. Everywhere we are, either we are successful or not so successful, healthy or not so healthy. Either we relate well or we don't relate well. It's all displaying, it is all reflecting the kind of thoughts we have chosen to embody. We become our thoughts. So thoughts don't just matter, they create matter. We should understand that. Our thoughts don't just matter, they create matter. They create us, they form us. Not just physically, but also in the arrangement of our lives. They create us. And therefore it is important to choose our thoughts and feelings wisely. We need to choose our thoughts and feelings wisely because a habitual train of thought, train of thought, series of thoughts. A habitual train of thought cannot fail to create its results in our character, in our responses, and in the destiny which unfolds from these responses. Yeah? Habitual train of thought cannot fail to create these outcomes in our lives. Now, although we do not have any direct influence on people and circumstances, not directly, we do have direct influence on what we think, how we feel, how we speak, and how we act. We do influence that. And so, indirectly, we do influence people and circumstances, but not directly. Directly, I cannot demand that you love me. I cannot demand that you respect me. I cannot demand for all the good things I want from you when I'm embodying qualities that don't merit it. Can I? If I'm obnoxious, if I'm constantly criticizing you, if I'm constantly being judgmental, insensitive, arrogant, and then I want you to love me and nurture me and be kind to me, is it possible? Not really. And yet, isn't that what we're doing in our families? Constantly rubbing people up the wrong way in the families, and we want our family members to admire us, to love us, to nurture us, to listen to us. But people are not going to listen to you if you don't merit it. Make sense? Okay. Same with circumstances. We all want to be successful. Nobody desires to be a failure. Anyone here wants to? No. We all desire success. We all want to be happy with our circumstances, but we don't have a direct influence over these circumstances. But to change those circumstances for the better, to influence positive realities, they can only be influenced by embodying the right qualities. Right? Can you really be successful in worldly terms if you don't have the right education for it? Even to be a brickie, you need the education. Yeah? Some kind of education. You have to be a good brickie if you want to be really successful. We cannot directly choose the people and circumstances in our lives to be how we want them to be, but we do have direct influence over our personal qualities. And when we embody the right personal qualities, when we are endearing to ourselves and others especially, then life is beautiful. But when we are not endearing to ourselves and other people, even if we are rich in worldly terms, it doesn't equate with happiness. We need to be endearing. Go ahead. Why is it important for us to be endearing, please? Endearing. Why is it important for us to be endearing, Tanya?
Because putting out that energy will bring that energy back into our lives.
Because putting out that energy will bring that energy back into our lives. Good way to say it? Something else? Come along, come along. Yes, madam.
Because that's it. What we give is what we're going to receive.
What we give is what we're going to receive, right?
And we can't make somebody be nice to us. Like if we are endearing towards them, and the whole world they will recognise that and respond accordingly.
People respond according to the qualities we embody. The better the qualities, the better the responses. Yeah? Okay. Do people wish to be successful in life only in material terms or in emotional terms? We want the money because money can hopefully get us some happiness. The bottom line is an emotion we're aiming for, right? It's not the money or the gold or anything else. It's the bottom line is a positive emotion we want to embody or to experience. Is that right? Okay. And to be successful in experiencing that positive emotion, can you do it just by yourself? Could you be happy just being alone on an island? Well, if you were a meditator, possibly. Success, please understand, success in all its aspects. Success in all its aspects is never a solo activity. We always require the help from others. We always require that help, that assistance. And not just help and assistance from others, but the help and assistance from life in its fullness. Everything has to support us. Then we have really achieved true success in this world. So just as water finds its own level, yeah? If I pour it from this glass, it's not going to turn into a little mound like sand would if I was to pour sand, yeah? Just as water seeks its own level and matter expands. It expands when heated. Yeah? And is this true only sometimes or all the time?
It's a law.
Somewhere
It's a law.
it's a law. So it's valid all times, so in any occasions, wherever. Not just in Australia, right? Maybe in India it'll be bargaining with me. Oh. Water seeks its own level and matter expands when heated. And this is true at any time, in any place, and under all conditions, all circumstances. In the same way, an endearing personality, endearing qualities open doors for us everywhere with that same precision. Endearing personality traits open doors for us everywhere. Globally, people enjoy being around those who are sensitive, who are loving, who are courageous, yeah, who are creative. People with the right qualities are welcome anywhere in the world. And anywhere in the world, nobody really admires a coward. Nobody admires a thief. Nobody admires insensitivity. Nowhere in the world is it a trait that is applauded. Would you agree? Yeah. And endearing personality opens doors for us everywhere. Opens doors for us everywhere means that we become our own good fortune. We don't need those fortune cookies from the Chinese restaurants. Yeah? We become our own good fortune. When we embody those right qualities, we don't need to read our stars. We make our life happen the way we want it to, because we have the right qualities in place. So although we are all subject to the uninvited, the unexpected, the unfavorable, yeah, all of us go through that. All of us experience life's curveballs, the uninvited, unfavorable, unexpected, and so forth. Although these things are there, empowering personality traits or an endearing personality plays a commanding role in how things pan out for us ultimately. Regardless of the situation, regardless of the challenge, an enduring personality plays a commanding role in how things turn out for us ultimately. Whereas the inappropriate qualities don't really serve us. Now, what are the influences that give rise to an enduring personality? How do we build one, craft one, create one? What happens? What determines a refined character from an unrefined character?
Someone who knows the difference.
Someone who knows the difference? Okay. Something else? Come along, come along. Open the mouth, you can do it.
Awareness of others.
Awareness of others, okay. Let me rephrase the question. What are the various influences that make us what we are? Various influences? Yes, Nicole? I know you want to speak. Family and friends? Yeah? Do they have an influence in our lives?
Oh gosh.
Okay.
The conditions. You
Yeah, the conditions. What are the influences?
Nationality.
Nationality, yes.
But also thoughts. What we think.
Mm. Yes, what we think and
What we model.
what we model. Yeah. Our education system. Okay. Now, although there are many external influences that shape us to be what we are, ultimately, it is we who decide what to take in and what to keep out. Right?
Absolutely.
Ultimately, we are either our own best helpers or our own worst enemies. We decide, regardless of our family and country and nation or whatever.
So there's hope for us all.
There's hope for us all. There's hope for us all because we are always in touch with our power. We always have the choice to turn things around or to stay rooted in our suffering. We have the choice. Powerful personal qualities, enriching, beautiful personal qualities require powerful, beautiful nourishment. Yes? And where does this nourishment come from ultimately?
Ourselves.
Absolutely. It comes from ourselves. And from which aspect of ourselves? The deluded aspect? It comes from the stillness of our inborn wisdom. Yeah? Real nourishment, real proper clarity comes from making time to know ourselves in our stillness, not in a turbulent mind. Most of us are not still enough. Most of us are not silent enough to nurture ourselves correctly, to really sort out our priorities. We need to create time for this inner stillness. And yet, for most of us, we believe that being busy is being productive. But being busy is really not often the wisest choice to make. We need time to be still, time to reflect correctly, time to observe correctly. Very important. Now, I have some questions for you. What is it about enduring people that inspires us? What is it that these people do that most other people do not do? What can we learn from people who are enduring? And the fourth question is, what exactly does it mean to be enduring? Shall I repeat the questions? Okay. Being enduring is like having a MasterCard with an unlimited balance on it. Yeah? Opens doors everywhere. You can see the president. $1 million, I want to see the president. Being enduring offers us immense opportunities in this world. So what is it about enduring people which inspires us? Is the first question. What is it that these people do that other people don't do?
They smile and they make us feel good.
Hallelujah. Yes, that's one thing.
I think they see us. They can see us.
They see us. Very good. We're coming to that. And what did you say?
True to themselves.
They are true to themselves. Good one.
Compassionate
They are compassionate,
and respectful.
respectful, compassionate. They have integrity.
They give unconditionally.
They give unconditionally. Okay. Hey, you guys know. Something else. Jared, what is it about people who are really hot stuff?
They show that they care about you through compliments.
Pardon me?
They show that they care through compliments versus neglect.
They show that they care through compliments. Okay, and what else did you say?
Opposed to neglect.
Opposed to neglect. Okay, good one. Yes, madam.
They're non-judgmental.
Non-judgmental. And the smiling lady in the back.
They're open.
And they're open.
They're happy.
They're happy? Yes, very good. Okay, let me compile all this in a certain sequence, and then we'll have a little tea break. It doesn't have to be in this sequence, but I'm giving this just a sequence. One distinguishing quality about those people who are enduring is the calm and elegant manner in which they carry themselves in this world. They are not flustered. Yeah? It's the dignity with which they carry themselves in this world. And this dignity comes from this inner assurance, this inner self-assurance that they are equal to any challenge that comes their way. They walk with that assurance. Yeah? They're calm, they're dignified, they're elegant in the way they approach life. This is one thing which really turns us on. Their self-assurance, they are rooted, they're grounded in their power. Another thing is that they carry their love and their appreciation and their gentleness and their good qualities into their moments. They don't wait for things to happen for them. They don't seek fulfillment and appreciation from others. They appreciate themselves. They don't need validation from others. If it comes, well and good. If it doesn't come, hallelujah. No worries, mate. Yeah? So they carry themselves, they bring love into their actions. They're not waiting for love to come to them. They bring appreciation into their moments. They're not bored out of their wits like many people are. So that's another thing, that they know how to enrich their moments instead of waiting for enrichment to come to them. Another thing is that because they walk with this presence, because they are in touch with their own wealth, inner wealth of goodness, they are available to us. You know what it means to be available? Not just physically. What does it mean to be available, madam?
I was going to say before, people like that have time for you.
Brilliant.
They invest time, which, it's really hard to get.
Yeah. They're available for us, which means that they're not carrying their own little storyline while you're talking. Yeah, they're listening. They listen to what you have to share. And because they're really present to you, or to us and our experiences, they're able to respond in the best possible manner.
Because they're living in the present.
They're living the present. They're available. Regardless of how busy they may be, they're willing to put aside that busyness for us whenever we need them. Unlike most people, oh wait, not now. Oh gosh. Yeah, they're available. Another thing, like someone said, such people are always courteous towards others. They're not critical, they're not judgmental, they're not harsh or arrogant. They are courteous towards everybody, even to those who are rude towards them. And why are they courteous even towards those who are rude and obnoxious? Yes.
I presume it gets back to compassion.
Compassion, okay. They feel some compassion for such people, and
I think they also know themselves enough to know that what that person is giving to them didn't generate from them.
okay, they can look beyond
They look beyond.
their responses to the
They
person.
didn't cause that
Yeah.
in the person.
Okay, that's a good one. Something else?
They look to what's finest in others rather than what that person might be expressing. They can see something better.
Yeah, they really see the person, they see what is finest in the person.
You don't lower themselves. You don't lower yourself to that attitude that somebody's being rude to you. Well, that's your
Just give them
problem.
back same kind.
I'm not going to go into that.
Okay, they don't lower their standards.
No.
Yeah,
And the rudeness doesn't offend them.
and they're not offended by it. Yeah, it just goes water off a duck's back. But also because they are courteous and kind and gentle towards everybody, because it is in their nature to be so. They don't discriminate between the good, the bland, and the ugly. Yeah, it's in their nature to be kind and courteous, without thinking that, oh, this person needs a little more compassion or this person needs a little more love. No, it's just default that they're kind and courteous. That's what makes them endearing. I have noticed many times in my life that when I have been a little arrogant and harsh, some people, like Sherry, she's able to overlook my weird frequencies and just love me just the way she loves everybody else. It's a brilliant quality that she has. And I appreciate that, because people who are being obnoxious, like me at times, we don't enjoy being obnoxious, do we? It just comes out because we're stressed, or for whatever reasons. So nobody, even the person who is really mean to others, does not expect or does not appreciate a mean response from them, other people. We still want to be understood. We still want to be dealt with kindly. Regardless of how mean we are, we want kindness back in return, don't we? Yeah. So people who are endearing are endearing by default in the way they touch other people's lives. And another thing about them is that we feel uplifted in their presence because they magnify for us what can still be possible for us when we live according to the right principles. They magnify for us the qualities which we don't even trust in ourselves, which we have neglected. And they show us that we can be a lot better than we have chosen to be. What we can learn from them is that we too can become our own good fortune when we reclaim our power to walk through this world in a kind and gentle manner. We too can become our own good fortune. This is what we learn from them. 2 more points before the break. Unlike most of us who wake up each morning and look forward to what the day will bring, people who are enduring wake up each morning and look forward to what they will bring into the day. It's a big difference. The first kind of people are waiting passively for life to give them happiness or bring them happiness. Whereas those people who are enduring, people who walk with power and presence in this world, look forward to what they will bring into each day. The amount of joy, the amount of clarity, the amount of goodwill they will bring into each day. And last but not least, those people who inspire us because of the streamlined way in which they work towards manifesting their aspirations. Are you streamlined? Do you know what it means to be streamlined? It means not to allow trivia and distractions to get in the way, not to allow doubts and anxieties to stop us from being the best we can be. Streamlined, no distractions. They know their aspirations and they know how best to achieve them. That's inspirational. That regardless of the obstacles, they use those obstacles as stepping stones for perfecting themselves, not for complaining. Streamlined. No excuses for why they can't. They have every reason for why they will and need to, for the benefit of all beings, including themselves. Make sense? Yeah. So, to be enduring doesn't mean to be some kind of wishy-washy, woozy kind of person. Yeah? No. Being enduring is about embodying qualities that allow us to walk through this world with power and grace. That's what it means to be enduring. Not some squoozy, swooshy kind of feelings. No. And we need to learn to embody these traits. Okay, before we go on our little tea break, I have a little announcement. For those of you who are newcomers and for the older students, I'm meeting people tomorrow morning and on Friday morning on a one-on-one if you'd like to meet with me about your practice or anything you'd like to talk about, just to establish a friendship. It's free of cost and it is just very close by. If you'd like to see me tomorrow, please meet Sherry during the tea break. She'll give you a little chit where to come and an appointment time. Please take up the opportunity. You never know what we can magnify. All right, please enjoy your tea. Ready for round 2? Okay. There's a saying that circumstances do not make us, they reveal us to ourselves. You know that saying? Circumstances do not make us, they reveal us to ourselves. What this means is that in the arrangement of our lives, we attract the people and situations. In the arrangement of our lives, we attract the people and situations that reflect back to us the kind of person we have chosen to be. Circumstances do not make us. It's not the external environment which shapes us. The external environment only reflects back to us the kind of person we have chosen to be. So, the divinity that shapes our lives is really in ourselves. It is in the qualities we have chosen to cultivate. The divinity that shapes our lives is really in ourselves. It is in the very qualities we have chosen to cultivate. This means that in life we do not get what we wish or pray for. In life, we only receive what we justly earn from the quality of our thoughts and actions. Yeah? In short, we receive what we qualify for. So if we are experiencing hardships and difficulties, it is because we have somehow qualified for experiencing those hardships and difficulties. If we are experiencing joy and laughter, it is because we have created the conditions for that to arise. Circumstances do not make us. They do not make us. They only reveal us to ourselves. In life, we do not get what we wish and pray for. We get only what we justly earn from the nature of our thoughts and actions. Many of us are anxious to improve our conditions. Yeah? Many of us are anxious to improve our conditions, but we are unwilling to improve ourselves. We're anxious to improve our conditions, but we are unwilling to improve ourselves. And this is a monumental folly, a monumental error that many of us make. Because for as long as we refuse to improve ourselves, we bind ourselves to repeated difficulties, till one day we wake up to the truth and see the importance of letting go of our misguided viewpoints. We believe what we want to believe. We don't believe in what is true or what we need to believe. We believe in what we want to believe. You are the problem. Life is difficult. Yeah? We believe what we want to believe instead of believing in what is true. And this alone explains what we have or do not have. How much joy or sorrow we experience is determined by our beliefs. And for most of us, we are convinced in the rightness of our opinions, despite proof to the contrary. Are you understanding, please? So in the light of this truth, in the light of the truth that we believe what we want to believe, what does it mean to fight against circumstances? What does it mean to fight against circumstances? It means, seeing that you all are rather quiet tonight, it means that we are struggling with an effect outside of us. To fight against circumstances means that we are struggling to resolve or change an effect outside of us while nurturing and preserving its cause within us. That's what it means to fight circumstances. We are struggling to change something on the outside while nurturing and preserving the cause on the inside. And for as long as this cause within us remains intact, an adverse situation, an adverse quality, either conscious or unconscious, for as long as this adverse quality remains unchecked, it will tenaciously, stubbornly refuse every effort we make to improve our circumstances. We can't improve it because we're holding the cause for the difficulty we are experiencing.
Can you say that again in a different way?
I can say it in 100 different ways. When our delusions outrun our wisdom, we create more problems than we solve. Yeah? In a relationship conflict within a relationship, how many people are willing to observe their involvement in the conflict, and how many people are interested only in pointing blame outside of themselves? Are you understanding? Oh, this partner is crazy. I'll change this partner and get into another relationship. And we find that this guy is also crazy. Oh my God, what happened here? And so we change that partner, and then the 25th partner is also crazy. The world is crazy, but I'm okay. Of course I'm okay. Yeah? That's what's happening. We're struggling with an effect outside of us while nurturing and preserving the cause within us. The body is ailing. We're not happy with the body. The diabetes, the high blood pressure, the whatever. Yeah? How many people are constantly obsessed with those symptoms that the body is emanating, and they will refuse to check the psychological makeup that creates those symptoms? How many people do that? It's much easier to pop some pills. So, what does it mean to fight against circumstances? It means to struggle against an effect outside of us, a manifest reality, while nurturing and preserving its cause within us. Until we wake up to the fact that we are creating our circumstances, we are creating our reality, the reality won't change for the better. Make sense? Okay. The only conclusive remedy to all our difficulties, physical, emotional, psychological, social, financial, spiritual, the only conclusive remedy to all our difficulties in any area of our lives is, what's the remedy?
Change ourselves.
Hallelujah, which means?
Transform.
Which means? Listen to ourselves. Okay.
Except that we're causing it.
Except that we are causing it, yes, okay.
Love ourselves more.
Pardon me?
Love ourselves more.
Love ourselves some more. Okay, and? I've already given you the answers, come on.
I heard Jason say, he said personal growth and development.
Hey, there is a wise man.
Get a teacher to teach you.
Mm.
Look for the cause.
And what is the cause, my dear?
Well, why am I causing this to myself? You have to observe yourself and be silent and be still, and then you know what you're causing yourself.
Then
You are correct, and yet I want an answer from left field.
nurture the qualities you want.
Yes, yes. The only conclusive remedy to all our ailments, all our difficulties, is to learn how to embody an enduring character. Yeah? Embody enduring qualities.
We change our way of thinking.
Yes. Change. You were correct, but to transform is okay, but to say transform ourselves into an enduring person will give you a clearer picture of where you what transformation you're aiming at. Yeah? So you are answering correctly, but answer in a complete sentence so that you are conscious of what you're aiming for. Without those enduring qualities, self-assurance, yeah, kindness, gentleness, clarity, love, creativity, being innovative, without those enduring qualities, how can we transform our reality for the better? Very difficult. Very often it is because we don't love ourselves enough that we can't love others correctly. Very often it is because we are critical of ourselves and judgmental of ourselves that it gets transferred into every little nook and corner of our lives. So by being enduring, by embodying those right qualities, the high blood pressure resolves, the diabetes gets better, the heart gets instead of out of whack, gets in shape. Everything improves. Even the wrinkles improve. Hey, you don't need Botox, trust me. Yeah, you don't need all that. You just need to be more gentle, more smiling, more humor, more laughter. That's what's important. Now, the immense value in embodying these beautiful qualities is not just that we enjoy our own company and that our friends and family enjoy our company. What is the immense value in this? In being gorgeous in every sense of the term. What is it? The immense value. You want to say something? Come along.
You change the world around you.
We change the world around us.
Yes.
Beautiful. And say it in some other words. Exactly what you've said.
It perpetuates. There's a ripple effect to that.
Beautiful. Not only do we touch other people's lives, but they pass on that good frequencies onto others, right? It becomes a ripple effect. And the ripple effect, what happens with that ripple? It usually goes there and comes back to us. It comes back to us in amplified form. The blessings which we shower onto others come back to us in amplified form, giving us greater strength to send out a better wave, a bigger wave. Yeah, it's a circular movement that takes place. This is how we work towards being the change we wish to see in the world. Yeah? Okay. When we look closely at those individuals, and institutions that are really successful, that are thriving in this world, we see either an obvious or an obscure network of relationships. Yes? Individuals or institutions that are really successful in this world, observe closely and you will see either an obvious or an obscure network of relationships that leads to their success. And we see this principle happening in our bodies itself and everywhere around in life. Consider the blood vessels. Consider the arteries going outside and into your heart and breaking up into the smallest of capillaries which feed every living cell in the body. Yeah? It's a network of relationships. Do you think that just one powerful heart with a couple of arteries or veins would do the job to keep you alive? Not at all. You are kept alive by an incredibly intricate network of blood vessels that keep every cell in your body nourished. One heart, huge heart with a few friends and arteries and veins is not enough. You need a wide network of relationships. That's what keeps you alive. See it in plants, see it in animals, see it in the universe. There's a network of connections. And the healthier that network of connections are, the healthier those networks are, the greater the blessings we enjoy. Remove those networks. Just live for yourself. Just live for your family. Just live for your friends. You're asking for trouble. Big trouble. Make sense? Okay. Networks are vital for our success in any form. Physical, emotional, social, any form. Networks are important because when we connect correctly into the world, when we feed the world with our good vibes, then when we least expect it, those good vibes come back to us through phone calls, through invitations, through cards, through whatever. People from the wildest of places want to meet us, want to assist us, want to help us, want to enrich us in ways which we can never even imagine. Why? Because we've sent out this charge into the world. But when we live only for ourselves and then we struggle to be successful, it doesn't work. We have to constantly, with every breath we take, we have to constantly embrace the world in a loving embrace. Yeah? Sending out blessings to all beings at all times. It comes back in amplified form. So we never really know how many birds are in the neighborhood till we put out the bird feeders. Yeah? Oh, look at this one. Oh, that's a bird. But don't put out the bird feeders, you'll just see a few. The same way, we never know how many friends we really have in this world till we reach out with what is finest in us. Till we reach out with what is finest in us, we don't really know how many friends we have in potential form just waiting to emerge from the cracks and crevices all around us. We grow into the likeness. We grow into the likeness of the things we contemplate daily. And what do you contemplate daily? Newspaper? We grow into the likeness of the things we contemplate daily. And what do most people contemplate daily? The things they need, the things they think they need, or the things they need? The things they need and want. Okay, what else? Kashmira here, dear friend, just told me recently that she travels on this train from home to work or wherever. And in the same compartment, she meets this guy every day, wearing black and carrying a laptop. And he's just there in the compartment and he's watching these gory movies. Morning time, with his headphones on. He's contemplating love. That's his constant input into his consciousness. Can you imagine how frustrated and resentful he must be? Do you know what you do to yourself when every morning you read the newspaper? Is there something beautiful in those newspapers that you read? Or does it infuse you with anxiety and with resentment and with anger? Does it encourage blissful states in you? I doubt it. The things we contemplate daily, we grow into the likeness of the things we contemplate daily. And for most of us, we're not contemplating very well on the right things. Especially, like our friend over there says, for most of us, what we are looking for is where our next pleasure will come from. What we're looking for is the next goal we would like to achieve. Yeah, things we contemplate daily. And is there a difficulty in this kind of contemplation? Where our next pleasure will come from, or what our next goal ought to be?
It's not very present.
It's not very present. Okay. What else?
It's outside of us.
It's outside of us. Pardon me?
It's selfish.
It is selfish. Okay.
But you don't find that stillness because you're so busy working on the next step, that finding the stillness in that moment becomes lost because you focus on the future.
Okay.
Following on from that thing, not living in the present. So you're basically always in the future. My happiness will be over here rather than here.
Okay. The things we contemplate daily are often things which are transient. they change. The goals, the aspirations which we're aiming for are transient. They're not really solid. They're not timeless. They are time-bound. And so, even when we achieve those pleasures and when we achieve those goals, what happens next?
We need others. We need a new one.
We aim for the next one. But before we aim for the next one, what happens is that the emptiness of our lives becomes even more apparent. Yeah? We've tried this, we've achieved this. Now I feel empty and bored again, restless again. Maybe I should try something else and get that, and then you again feel restless and empty again. It's not a very pleasant situation to be in. Especially when our goals and aspirations are transient, we're not really doing ourselves a favor. So what should we be contemplating? What is it that we ought to be contemplating? Aspiring towards? Yes, Brendan. Tell us.
I like Kerry's answer.
What did she say?
I don't know.
Copping out.
Maybe values and ideals as opposed to some sort of a picture or materialistic goal. They say, I want to be like this in the future, but I want to sort of keep these or exhibit these values or build these traits or do what I believe in, something like that.
Brilliant. Yes. Don't you think it would serve you a lot more if you were to contemplate on how you would carry yourself today? Yeah? How much gentleness you will bring into the day, how much kindness, how much clarity, how much love, how much presence. Yeah? Because these are timeless qualities. They don't fade in time. They're timeless qualities. And not just that they're timeless, but they are valued qualities. Valued, priceless qualities. So instead of nurturing ourselves, we're trying to nurture things which change. We are hinging our happiness on things which change, and so when those things change, so does our happiness. It's not a wise choice to make. And yet, for most people, that's how they live. They hinge their happiness on external factors, believing that those external factors will stay stable and solid. But they don't stay stable. They're changing.
I'm confused on to be the best that you can be. You aspire to learn and to grow and to set goals and achieve together with all the loving and value and enduring quality. But from what I'm hearing you say, I'm confused about, is it like I want to set goals and I want to move forward, but it's not working with what you're saying?
It is good to set the goals, it is good to aim for some pleasures, but not to place your happiness in those areas. Yeah? You have to carry your happiness with you wherever you are.
So what you're saying is not to have goals and aspire,
Correct.
but to make sure you've got the foundation right before you go.
To have the foundation right, to accept that things are transient, and that you're not latching your happiness onto those things that are transient. Because ultimately it is our personal qualities that carry us through any crisis or any difficulty. It is our personal qualities, not our money, not our connections out there. It is our way of translating life, our way of approaching life. That's what keeps us centered. Seeing that life is full of change, seeing that life is full of change, isn't it wise to acquire a little wisdom early enough in our lives? Instead of when the crisis arises? Seeing that life has its difficulties, has its illusions, has its change, constant change, is it not wise to acquire some love and wisdom early enough so that we are prepared, so that we are really prepared for life's changing phases? Because after all, the essential thing in life, the essential thing is to walk in this world with inspiration. The essential thing in life is to keep our lives fresh and inspired despite the challenges. Nowadays, the primary reason why marriages fail or fall apart or people get into a divorce is not because of infidelity. It's not because the partner runs off with the milkman or the postman. Milkmaid? Okay. Well, okay. It's not because of infidelity. The reason marriages break up or partnerships break up is because both people are incredibly boring. And they're seeking excitement somewhere else. You have stopped making me laugh. You're not interesting, but am I interesting? Hey. So it is that people grow apart because of boredom. There's not enough freshness. There's not enough stimulation. There's not enough novelty in the relationship to hold it together.
That's when your creativity comes into.
Absolutely. We're not creative enough. So to keep our lives fresh and inspired, we need lots of wisdom. We need to have the ability to view things, view the ordinary in an extraordinary way. Not just to see the ordinary in an ordinary way. Because in truth, everything is divine and sensational. In this great theater called life, we all have our different roles to play. And we can't really choose our entrance onto this world stage. Yeah, we are born in this place or we are born in that place. With these traits or with those traits. It doesn't matter. We can't choose our entrance into this world theater, but we do get to choose how well we perform after a certain age. We do get to choose the quality of our performance in this world theater. And the quality of our performance is determined by the quality of our clarity. The more clear we are, the better we perform in this world stage. And not just perform on the world stage, but also when it comes time to exit the stage, when it's time to pop off, we go with elegance. We're not going kicking and screaming. I don't want to leave. No, we go with grace, with elegance. To play our roles well in this world, we require stillness. We require to touch base with silence, the stillness within us. Because it is from this inner stillness that we can make better choices. It is from this stillness that we can remove the kinks and the quirks in our mind and make our greatest contribution to the world. But for most of us, we don't have time for silence. Too much thoughts, too much planning, too much anxiety, too much fear, too much anger, too much resentment. Not enough time to be still and quiet from which to make informed choices. Please understand that all power comes from within, not from outside. Not really. It comes from within and it goes outwards and comes back within. Yeah? All power is from within, going outwards and back to the source and coming back within us. It's circular. And this power, which is within us all, immense power, it is rich in opportunities for either destroying ourselves, rich in opportunities for either destroying ourselves or for awakening to the glory that is in and around us at all times. This power is there to awaken or to stay asleep. How well we apply this power determines how well we live. And to know how to apply it correctly, we do need the learning. just like with anything in this world. We do need the learning. To have more, share more. To have more joy, share more joy. But for most of us, we want without giving in return. We don't know the importance of fair exchange. But there has to be a fair exchange. Okay, any questions? No questions? Okay, if you don't have questions, then I have a question for you.
Quick, somebody.
The question I have for you is that we'll sit quietly for about 5 minutes. I would like you to reflect on what was the important point from this talk that you will take away with you. What for you was important? Reflect on that. We'll share that in the group, and then Sherry will open the door, otherwise it will stay locked.
There is no door. Yes, safe.
Okay, so while you're sitting quietly, is it okay with you if Sherry takes a photograph or two? Everyone's okay? All right, thank you. So, sitting straight, back straight, shoulders loose, head balanced, breathing well from the abdomen, body relaxed, mind relaxed.